Picture the final days of the dinosaurs minus 68 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period. Vast plains stretch under a blazing sun, forests of conifers sway in the wind, and the ground trembles under the steps of giant herbivores. But among them walks a creature that seems almost designed for war, low to the ground, covered in armor plates, with a tail that ends in a massive bone-crushing club. This is the Ankylosaurus, the living tank of prehistory. The name Ankylosaurus means fused lizard, from the Greek ankylos, fused or stiff, and sauros, lizard. The name refers to the creature's most remarkable feature, the fused bones and armor plates that covered its body from head to tail, creating one of the most advanced natural defenses ever evolved. Ankylosaurus lived between 68 and 66 million years ago in what is now North America, particularly the regions of Montana, Alberta, and Wyoming. It roamed the same landscapes as the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex and large herbivores like Triceratops and Edmontosaurus. Despite its peaceful herbivorous lifestyle, Ankylosaurus was more than capable of defending itself against any predator, even the tyrant king himself. This dinosaur measured around 8 to 9 meters, 26 to 30 feet in length, stood about 1.7 meters, 5.5 feet, tall, and weighed an astonishing 6 tons. Its entire body was encased in osteoderms, bony plates embedded in its skin, much like those of modern crocodiles, but far thicker and more complex. These plates were arranged in rows along its back and flanks, forming a shield that could withstand bites, claws, and even the crushing jaws of a T-Rex. The most famous feature of all was its tail club, a massive, solid structure of fused bone at the tip of its tail. This formidable weapon could be swung with devastating force, powerful enough to shatter the leg bones of a predator with a single blow. Tests on reconstructed tail models showed that it could deliver impacts exceeding 5,000 newtons, the equivalent of being struck by a sledgehammer weighing hundreds of kilograms. Yet, despite its terrifying defenses, Ankylosaurus was not aggressive by nature. It was a slow-moving, calm creature, spending its days grazing on low-lying vegetation, relying on its armor and instincts for survival. Ankylosaurus was a herbivore, feeding mainly on low-growing plants that flourished in the late Cretaceous landscape, such as ferns, cycads, and angiosperms. Its broad, beak-like snout worked like a pair of shears, clipping vegetation close to the ground. Inside its mouth, it had rows of small, leaf-shaped teeth designed not for chewing, but for crushing and slicing soft plant matter before swallowing. Its large digestive system then took over the hard work, fermenting this fibrous material much like modern-day cows do. Because it moved slowly and kept close to the ground, Ankylosaurus had to rely on more than armor for survival. It also possessed an exceptional sense of smell. The large nasal cavity within its skull suggests that it could detect predators long before they approached, giving it time to assume a defensive posture or retreat into thicker vegetation. Its hearing was likely tuned to low frequencies, allowing it to detect distant footsteps or ground vibrations, vital in a world full of enormous creatures. Its eyes, positioned on the sides of its head, gave it a wide field of vision to monitor danger from every direction. However, due to its low height, its view of the world was close to the earth. Dense vegetation, the feet of towering herbivores, and the occasional shadow of a predator crossing the sunlight. When threatened, Ankylosaurus employed a defense strategy of remarkable precision. It would lower its body, protecting its softer underbelly, and swing its tail with astonishing accuracy. Paleontologists believe it could rotate its tail more than 100 degrees, turning it into a deadly pendulum. The heavy club at the end could strike at knee height, exactly where a predator like Tyrannosaurus rex would be most vulnerable. Its temperament was generally placid and less provoked. This was not a creature that sought battle, but once engaged, it was nearly unstoppable. In a confrontation, the predator often faced a grim choice: retreat or risk a shattered limb. Even if attacked by multiple carnivores, Ankylosaurus could pivot its armored body, turning defense into a continuous circle of swinging destruction. Despite its tank-like build, Ankylosaurus had a brain that was surprisingly small compared to its body size, roughly the size of a walnut. Yet, it didn't need great intelligence to survive. Its strength, armor, and instinct were more than enough. Evolution had made it an impenetrable fortress, a perfect blend of simplicity and effectiveness. Reproduction in Ankylosaurus, like in most dinosaurs, occurred through egg-laying. Although no direct nesting sites attributed to Ankylosaurus had been discovered, evidence from related species indicates that females likely dug shallow pits in the soil where they laid clusters of small round eggs which were then buried under vegetation to provide natural insulation and protection. The young hatchlings were born without their heavy armor, their skin was soft, and the osteoderms developed gradually as they matured, hardening over the years into the thick bony plates that defined adulthood. Because of their vulnerability at birth, juveniles probably lived in vegetation-rich areas, hidden from predators, feeding on soft plants. Growth was slow but steady, and by the time they reached full maturity, possibly between 15 to 20 years of age, they were practically invincible to most threats. Adult ankylosaurs had few natural enemies. Even the most formidable predators thought twice before attacking one. Ankylosaurus lived during the very end of the Cretaceous period, just before the catastrophic asteroid impact that ended the reign of the dinosaurs. Around 66 million years ago, when the massive explosion struck near what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, a chain of apocalyptic events followed: wildfires, acid rain, darkness, and freezing temperatures. Despite its formidable defenses, Ankylosaurus could not survive the sudden collapse of ecosystems that once supported it. It vanished alongside the giants of its age. The first fossils of Ankylosaurus were discovered in 1906 by American paleontologist Barnum Brown in Montana. Later excavations revealed more bones, including parts of its skull and armor, allowing scientists to piece together the image of one of the most heavily armored creatures to ever walk the earth. Its reconstruction stunned the scientific world, a creature that looked like a fusion of tank, crocodile, and dragon, but entirely real. Today, Ankylosaurus remains a symbol of ultimate defense in the natural world. It teaches us that survival doesn't always depend on speed or intelligence. Sometimes, it depends on patience, adaptation, and resilience. This ancient armored guardian stood firm through millions of years of evolution, thriving in an age dominated by predators, proving that protection can be as powerful as attack. So the next time you imagine the prehistoric world, picture Ankylosaurus slow, steady, and unbreakable, its armor glinting under the Cretaceous sun as it wanders through fern-covered valleys, unbothered, unstoppable, eternal. Closing message for your video. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, comment what you like the most, and share it with someone who needs to hear this too.